There's a recent drama that took place in the H3 sphere, and we need to talk about it. It all started when Ethan Klein and two H3 crew members, Olivia and Lena, were discussing a contestant on Love Island. A contestant that is controversial. So controversial that people feel passionately about this person, evidently. On one side, we have Hila stating that this contestant Huda is toxic. On the other side, we have Olivia defending Huda as simply being human. Now, before we get into the big drama of what happened, let's take a look at Olivia's perception of this person and Hila's as they discuss her.
I won't stand by Huda in this situation.
Yes.
I will say.
Thank God.
I won't stand by either of them in that couple.
But I'm sensing that you're going to stand by her later.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Now listen to what Olivia says. She denounces this contestant's behavior, but only with the inclusion of denouncing the contestant's partner's behavior too. She says she won't stand by the woman's behavior, but clarifies she won't stand by the man's behavior either, which is implying that the two contestants are equal measures of wrong. That's important to note because of what she'll say next.
Yeah, and I don't.
My least favorite character.
I can't stand her.
I see a human in Huda.
Who the hell is Huda?
Sure, definitely, but what kind of human?
A flawed human.
Exactly.
A flawed human.
Manipulative, toxic human, yes.
Now Hila catches on that Olivia will still be supporting this person, and Olivia confirms that she will because she sees a human in Huda. Hila then points out that Huda is a toxic, manipulative individual and questions Huda's character.
I think Jeremiah's maybe just as, if not more.
Oh
wait,
no,
what?
Nicole's saying
Jeremiah
no
was
Huda's
so
on there. Are you kidding me? How do you like her? I don't know.
Olivia's defense to Huda being called a toxic and manipulative person is to call another male contestant who was involved with Huda an even more toxic person. So she's essentially defending this woman by stating that it's okay she's toxic because the guy is even more toxic. They're not talking about the guy right now, though. They're specifically talking about this woman and her actions. But notice that twice now Olivia finds it difficult to hold the woman accountable for them, not without dragging equal blame onto a man while she does it.
You posted something crazy
Yes,
about
I did.
her. He posted so if you haven't noticed, Huda has pretty heavy eyelash extensions. If you hadn't noticed, I wear pretty heavy eyelashes as well.
Now, here's where I think the actual issue lies. Notice that Olivia comes at another member for calling out this Huda contestant for having long eyelashes, and Olivia argues that she does as well. Now, this is what I think is happening here. Olivia doesn't see the human in Huda. She sees the Olivia in Huda. She sees herself. She relates to her. That's why she defends her so passionately and feels as if she understands where she's coming from. She sees herself in her. This is the same reason Olivia defends Trisha Paytas all of the time, even though Trisha Paytas is also toxic and manipulative. Yet Olivia, for some reason, can only see the good in her. Now, with that in mind, let's keep listening.
I don't really get what anyone could possibly like about Huda.
Okay.
Thank you.
This was important enough
thank
to call
you.
in and interrupt
It
the show
is.
flow?
Yes, it's
Yes,
very
it
What do you
important,
mean
Dan.
interrupt, Dan?
I don't know.
I'm adding to the conversation.
Stand on business, Ethan.
Why?
Now Ethan calls in and shares the same opinion that Hila has of this contestant, that she's manipulative and toxic, and he doesn't understand how anyone can like her. Notice Olivia's mood when Ethan enters the equation. She's less than thrilled and questions why he's even adding his opinion to the mix. That was her saying, why, when he said he was adding to the conversation. She's not happy about this call-in, and she appears to be defensive over Ethan saying he doesn't understand how anyone can like Huda.
Apparently, Ethan Huda has a whole army. She has a lot of loyal supporters, so people are afraid to call her out.
Yeah.
Why?
Because she has a Huda army, apparently.
The army.
The Huda army.
I don't. You know,
they all have
Ethan's
bad
not
eyelashes?
here today. You know who's not here
Well,
today?
let me just say.
You know
here's
who's
my
doing
case
something
about
else?
Huda.
Ethan.
Now listen to Olivia's tone and attitude where it concerns Ethan. She doesn't think he should be part of the conversation because he isn't there. She doesn't want him to be, because of what he's saying. And she's clearly defensive because she's part of that Huda army that Hila is mentioning, as she admitted prior that she follows her and loves her.
Ethan decided he didn't want to be here for this conversation.
I'm here now. And I have something important
You're not,
to
though.
say.
You're not here.
I don't see you.
I've never heard Olivia sound this annoyed with Ethan before. Usually when they disagree on something, she's quick to stay silent. Like when they have differing opinions about Trisha Paytas. Olivia rarely speaks up, only now and then. Yet here she's pushing back and trying to push him out of the conversation. She's clearly annoyed.
I don't see you.
By the way, the last match she had, she basically...
What? What are you talking about?
I'm so
the
sorry
night-
that you didn't notice that.
the
He
night
said
with
that
Chris-
When she was like, can you please cuddle me? And he was like, I don't want to. And
Yeah.
Now, Ethan brings up something that Huda did on the show and frames it in a very serious manner. Olivia is blown away by this and asks Ethan what he means. But before he can even finish, Olivia jumps in with the assumption of what scene it is. She sure thought of it fast for not knowing what Ethan was talking about. Now, she frames it as Huda asking nicely to be cuddled with. But that's not what happened. In the footage of the incident, Huda demands that a man cuddle with her, and then threatens him when he doesn't. She didn't say, please cuddle me. She told the guy he had 3 seconds to cuddle her, and if he didn't, he'd essentially face consequences for it tomorrow. And in fact, it didn't start out as a demand to cuddle. She woke him up for something else, and when he said no, she said, cuddle me then. Wanting to force physical contact. Under threat.
it was like,
And she kept
3,
trying to
2,
grab
1.
him and touch
I
him
thought that
under the
was
blanket.
in
And he
3,
said
2,
no.
she
1.
assaulted him?
I think,
That
maybe
was
using
kind of
that
the
language is a little
subtext.
bit harsh.
Was she
but
saying, I want to have sex
Was
with
it-
you right now? Or was she saying,
No,
like, can
cuddle
you...
now. 3, 2, 1.
I'm
You have
giving
3
you
seconds.
until 3.
I thought that was stupid and crazy.
Now Olivia isn't questioning this to find out what really happened. She's questioning this in a way to show Ethan that he's wrong, by questioning his take on the incident. In the actual footage, Huda does imply that she wants to sleep with the man, but settles for cuddling, and then threatens the man with a 3, 2, 1 countdown if he doesn't comply. So what Ethan and Hila are saying is correct. And Olivia downplaying this situation by acting like this woman asked politely to cuddle and only wanted to cuddle is a misrepresentation of what actually happened. She tries to say that she didn't agree with Huda's actions, yet she's sitting there defending them and downplaying them.
If it was
Didn't
the opposite gender,
necessarily-
if a guy did
If
that,
that
to
No,
a
was
girl,
the
I agree with you. I don't like it, but I
gender,
probably
hold
wouldn't
the
have said that
If
he said
the
her.
opposite gender and a guy said, you need to come do physical touching with me now under the blanket, and I'm counting down from 3.
I thought that was crazy, and then it
you
didn't
would-
happen, and they didn't further that conversation.
He's
Ethan and Hila bring up a good point by asking Olivia how she would feel if it were a man who did it to a woman. And Olivia says that she would view it as wrong, but not as wrong as Ethan is saying it is now. Listen to how Ethan is describing this situation, though, because that was exactly what it was. If a man was threatening a woman and giving her a countdown to physically touch him under the covers, or else then that would be a serious issue. Yet for some reason Olivia doesn't believe it to be a serious issue when it's a woman doing it to a man.
oh, she
I
was
have
like
to go back.
upset about it.
Well, they were upset about it later, but he has already been very mean to her before that.
He
So
was
there
not
was
mean.
No,
that
gentlemen,
doesn't
all the way around.
justify.
And now Olivia once again blames the guy for the woman's behavior. She points out how mean this man was to this woman, as if that somehow justifies the aftermath of what happened. She keeps turning a situation where this woman was wrong into every other situation about how this woman herself was wronged. 2 things can be true at once, though. People could have mistreated this woman, but that's not what everyone is talking about right now. They're talking about a situation where this woman was clearly in the wrong, and Olivia cannot admit that or see that without victimizing the offender.
He was
Told her
such
to
a
shut up,
gentleman.
he told her to shut up like 5 times. Are you kidding?
Look,
I'm not. He was not mean.
Now, even if what Olivia is saying is true, that still does not justify or excuse this woman's behavior. Just because a guy was mean to this contestant does not mean she gets away with what she did. So it's irrelevant for Olivia to bring this up.
that's not relevant to my point. Hold on, that's not relevant to my point.
I do think
it doesn't matter how mean.
Episode.
It doesn't matter how mean he was to her. He said she was gripping and grabbing and touching him under the blanket when he wanted to go to sleep.
And he was say that she was gripping and touching him.
He was like,
that's what I remember. But
he was saying, "I need my sleep," and she was like, not having it.
Right, but did they?
Ethan rightfully points out that what Olivia is mentioning is irrelevant. Like I just said, it does not matter how mean someone was to this woman. That doesn't excuse her own troublesome behavior. After Ethan points this out, Olivia again tries to question Ethan's take on it. She isn't looking for clarity. She's looking to prove him wrong, which is why she says, okay, did she say that, or did she say please? She repeats the please portion because, for some reason, Olivia believes that this woman was politely begging to be cuddled, even though she was demanding it under threat.
Did something happen that he was?
No,
this was towards the end, right?
Yeah.
Yes, towards the end.
She just asked to cuddle.
Right.
No, that's not
And
what
then she
happened.
said
I need to go
3-2,
find.
and then they didn't,
She was being so pushy about it.
which is bad.
Now someone jumps in to say that the woman just asked to cuddle, which again is a misrepresentation of what actually happened. What actually happened was exactly what Ethan and Gila said. The woman demanded to be cuddled and threatened the guy if he didn't. Again, Olivia claims that she doesn't agree with what Huda did. But if she doesn't agree, then why does she keep framing it as asking politely to be cuddled? She's not even representing it in the true way that it happened.
It is bad, but are we going to sit here and say that she is a star?
No,
No,
I don't
God,
think
no.
so.
I'm asking.
No,
Because obviously
Hold
I don't
on,
want to
hold on.
defend someone who did that.
Sorry, but I'm not buying her reason for asking that question. She clearly is downplaying the situation by saying, okay, it's bad, but are we really going to label it as that bad? She doesn't even think it's bad, because if she did, she would have said that. She kept saying that the contestant politely asked to be cuddled and kept defending her. So where in that equation does she see the bad? I'm confused. Then she claims that she obviously wouldn't want to defend someone who was being accused of what Ethan is accusing the contestant of. However, that's not true, because Olivia constantly defends Trisha Paytas, who has admitted to S-ing at least 3 men, including her own husband, and who has admitted to physically harming 3 men, including her own husband. So she clearly doesn't have too much of a problem standing the kind of people who do that kind of thing.
Let me just finish my point before you all make it seem like I'm crazy for saying something. I don't think she committed a crime or anything, but she was very pushy with something that I perceived as to be solely suggestive. And if that was opposite genders, you would all be freaking out right now. Bye-bye. Say bye now. Bye-bye.
Ethan abruptly ends the call with one last point, which is just him clarifying how he saw the situation. And he's absolutely right. If this were a situation where a man was forcing a woman to do something like this woman was trying to force this man to do, everyone would be up in arms. It would be a huge deal. His point in saying that is to prove that it wouldn't be okay in that scenario, nor would it be okay in the scenario that it played out in. Now, people are acting like Ethan hanging up was rude or aggressive. I personally didn't pick up anything that's serious over it. He clearly shared his point and then effed off. He didn't sound angry. He didn't personally come for anyone. He just stated his opinion and bounced.
Well, he just dropped the hot take and then dips, but
No,
okay.
I think I misunderstood what happened, and I don't want to do this anymore.
Wait, what?
Wait, what do you mean?
Now Olivia becomes upset over how this whole ordeal played out and announces that she doesn't want to discuss it any further and wants to leave. Gila and Lena are confused and question what's wrong. What's more confusing here, though, is how Olivia is saying that she misunderstood a situation. She's essentially saying that she didn't see it how Ethan and Gila saw it, and Now, that she feels uncomfortable, but she was just defending it no more than 2 minutes ago and questioning their perception of the incident.
I felt that she was pushy. I didn't realize. I'm sorry.
I don't want you to get upset, though.
Olivia.
No.
Olivia then starts to cry and says that she feels bad because she didn't realize the situation for what it was, claiming that she thought the woman was pushy, but that's it. This is a little hard to believe, considering she just argued against Hila and Ethan's perception of this incident at least 3 times when she was told what happened, and even doubled down when someone interjected by claiming that Huda simply asked to cuddle. But anyone who has seen the clip would know that Huda didn't ask. She demanded, and she threatened. Olivia downplayed this, but now she's upset and feels as if she needs to leave. I think what happened here is that Olivia is so used to standing problematic people and thinking they're iconic, in example Trisha Paytas, that she doesn't actually see the human factor here that she needs to. And when Ethan and Hila pointed out how problematic this behavior is in real life, Olivia couldn't defend it, because it's indefensible behavior. I think this caused her to become overwhelmed when she realized she was defending something she shouldn't have. But Olivia was not mistreated in this situation as snarkers are implying. Ethan did not do anything to Olivia that warrants hate. They were all having a discussion about a serious topic that Olivia did not understand, and that Hila and Ethan were trying to get her to see their point on, because it's not okay to downplay situations like what happened. Wrongs have to be pointed out. It was a conversation, and it should have been a learning moment, but only time will tell whether it actually was, or if Olivia will keep standing problematic people. But Ethan and Hila are being attacked for this moment on their podcast, and are being accused of mistreating Olivia, which they clearly did not do. In fact, Hila asks Olivia if she wants to take a break and tells her that she doesn't want her to be upset and tells her that she didn't do anything wrong. Again, it was simply a discussion where a wrong was pointed out. What Huda did was wrong. What Olivia was defending was wrong. And that's all Ethan and Hila were trying to shed light on, in a rather respectful way. So no, they didn't do anything wrong, and they're not monsters for pointing out a wrong when they saw it. For the record, here is the man in question's side of the situation. The man that was being threatened to cuddle Huda. He said it wasn't about cuddling at all, and it was actually about Huda trying to sleep with him and not respecting that he said no. Listen to him.
I feel like what you guys didn't get to see is the whole argument and why we were arguing. We weren't arguing because I didn't cuddle her. We were arguing because we were told like we were only going to get 2 hours of sleep, and instead of prioritizing sleep, she wanted to get, active in the bedroom, and I wasn't about that.
So it was exactly as Ethan deduced, and Ethan was standing up against this kind of behavior, because it's so easy for people to overlook this situation, because it wasn't a man doing it, and that's what he was trying to point out to Olivia.
I had made that clear to her. I'm like, look, like, if we're not going to be doing PDA on the outside, we're not doing bedroom. Like,
especially if I only get 2 hours of sleep.
Exactly. I set a boundary, and she crossed it. She wasn't okay with it. And
this is why this conversation that was had was important. That's why it was important for Ethan to come in saying what he did, because Olivia was standing behind a woman who was doing something she shouldn't have. It's not okay to ever pressure a partner into anything, especially sleeping with them. And it's not okay to punish them if they don't. Hila was right when she called out this kind of behavior, and so was Ethan. The way Olivia phrased it as the woman politely asking to cuddle was a misrepresentation of the situation that needed to be corrected. And if Olivia has now seen the light, that's fine. It's just confusing how she saw the original clip and kept representing it as a polite ask to cuddle when it wasn't. Sometimes people get so swept up in standing their favorites that they no longer take reality into consideration and just excuse all bad behavior. It's dangerous. You can't just defend everything your fave does because they're your fave.